Today we're going to talk about the parts of a sentence, but before we really talk about or you understand punctuating and building on sentences, it's important to know the building blocks. So last week we talked about phrases and clauses, and today we're going to talk about independent and dependent clauses. So an independent and dependent clause, two types of clauses in the English language. We already know, right, that a clause is a subject and a verb together. And they are the building blocks of sentences. So it's really important that you get this down because you will be able to grow some pretty amazing sentences and to punctuate them. So in a sentence, subject is a person, thing that's doing something or being something, okay? So the subject performs or is. Okay, so the verb is the action word in the sentence. All right, so subject is the person or thing that is doing something or being something. The subject performs the verb. A verb is the action, and we all know how fabulous vivid verbs are. So here, sentence, the dog jumped over the fence. The subject of the sentence is dog, because the dog is doing the action, and the verb is jumped, because it is the action. Okay? He smiled at her. The subject of the sentence is he, because he's doing something. And what's he doing? He smiled at her. My teacher told us to read quietly. Subject is the teacher, my teacher. And what did she do? She told. All right. Simple verb. The predicate is the whole verb part. A verb can also describe a state, such as be, have, like, see. Example, subject of the sentence is mom, and the verb is really will be. Okay, so that's a sentence. All right, just quick review. A clause, subject and verb. And a sentence, subject and verb. Independent clause is the same thing as a sentence. Okay, it's a synonym. An independent clause is a group of related words that contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. Independent clauses are complete sentences. They begin with a capital letter and end with punctuation, such as the period. I, always capitalized anyway, picked flowers for you. My, capital M, my mom is nice. Punctuation. The teacher, okay, T, the teacher, uppercase T, taught me how to read. Ends in a period. Oops. And the woman sang, uppercase T, S. All right. So an independent clause is a sentence. All right. A dependent clause also contains a subject and a verb, but it doesn't express a complete thought. It leaves your reader hanging. Okay. The following words in purple are called dependent marker words. We're going to talk about those some more as far as we build sentences. There's conjunctions, a different kind of conjunction. But for this, we'll just call them marker words. Okay, so when I picked a flower for you, so you're left hanging like and. So what happened when I picked the flower? If my mom is nice, okay, what happens if she's nice? While my teacher taught me to read. So all of these things leave you or the reader wondering what you're talking about, what happened. There's just not enough info. Because the woman sang, what happened because she sang? So dependent clauses usually start with a dependent marker word. A dependent marker word is a word added to the beginning of an independent clause to make it dependent. For example, this is an independent, I like flowers. To turn it into a dependent clause, you can add a marker word, a conjunction, because I like flowers. The above group of words does not communicate a complete thought and becomes a dependent clause. The dependent clause must be connected with an independent clause to make a complete sentence. I planted flowers because I like flowers. All right, so we're just going to stop there, and then you are going to go on to the next thing in your Google Classroom. And if you have notes, I would review. If you have questions, you can review this.